Hey everyone, this video is going to be a build video for the Trozan Sky Shard's Battlemage. And in this video we'll go over the skills, gear, and all that stuff, and the devotion for a sword and board Trozan Sky Shard's Battlemage. So first and foremost, we're going to start on the Arcanist and Trozan Sky Shards. I have the skill maxed out, and I attached Blizzard to it. So every time it crits, there's a 33% chance it will drop blizzards. And this happens more often than you'd think. Frozen Core is up to, I believe, level 9, because I have +1 all skills. And through his items, he has +2 to Frozen Core. So I believe I have that at 9. And then Inner Focus is maxed out. And I have that at 9 because I have those 3 points in another ability. Inner Focus is maxed out. 1 point in Arcane Will, 1 point in Nullification, 1 point in Electric Flash Freeze, 1 point in Absolute Zero, 1 point in Mirror, 11 points in Myvan Sphere, 11 points in Overload, and Iskander's Elemental Exchange is maxed out. And the reasons for all that's pretty clear. Myvan Sphere, it's for the 30% damage reduction. Absorption, same thing. Iskander's is for the conversion more than anything, but also flat elemental damage added on each attack is really nice. Overload for the % elemental damage, and having the burn, frostburn, electrocute on every attack is really nice as well. Well, chance of one of them on every attack is nice. Inner Focus because spirit and offensive ability are important. Trojans because it's a main ability. Electra's only really needs 1 point in both of these. Because it's going to be an oh shit button more than anything. Nullification, you just put 1 point in it to take out boss crap that they might have. And Arcane Will, you get a lot of value out of that single point. So, Warcry. On the soldier side, we have Warcry at 10. And Warcry, this is the reason I took points out of Frozen Core. Because Warcry hits a giant radius for 33% health reduction and 36% reduced to target's damage. It's a great ability for both mitigation and for hurrying fights along, because you will absolutely... it's just everything is 33% faster except bosses. 1 point in Fighting Spirit, it's a great little 1-pointer for when it triggers. 1 point in Blitz to get around. 1 point in Mainer's Will because it's a great little heal when it triggers. 1 point in Overguard because we don't need more than 1 point in Overguard, and it works great as a 1-pointer. And I'll get to why I'm not leveling that up, and I have the new shield training leveled up all the way. Military Conditioning is maxed out. Shield training is at 8. And shield training is brand new. They took the shield things from Veterancy and replaced it with health regen. And again, 1 point in Veterancy, 1 point in Decorated Soldier, with a potential to be maxed out later, as we need more elemental damage in higher difficulties probably. And I believe Field Command is also maxed out. So shield training is brand new, and shield training is awesome. I don't care about the physical damage added onto your shield attacks, but having the recovery time reduced by 50% and having 40% more block chance is awesome. Just absolutely awesome. Because with our items, we have our items in our devotion, we have a 91% chance. I think it's just items right now. We have a 91% chance to block. And our shield recovers in 0.85 seconds. And I don't actually know that it's taking... The recovery time on the shield is actually taking into account having the reduction on it already. It might, but I mean, regardless, it's like we're gonna be blocking 1,000 incoming damage basically every second, less than a second, and that's huge because it's just huge, and that's why I only have Overguard with 1 point, because Overguard doesn't need any more points. Really. Yeah, it'll reduce our shield recovery time by another 33%, and add on 40% more damage blocked, which, while giving us health regen and a tiny bit of damage absorption. So Overguard is a 1-point wonder for this character, especially given that shield training exists now. Anyways, I think that covers all the abilities, so we're on to Devotion, and this character is going to go mostly in the upper right of the Devotion map. So the first thing I did was I acquired Tsunami. So we do a point at Crossroads, and then we do points around until we get Tsunami. And then I immediately got the Sailor's Guide, because this part of Sailor's Guide is 5% more movement speed. And movement speed is always like a godly ability in pretty much every action RPG. You get some resistances out of it and some physique, which is really nice as well. Then I threw 1 point into the Eldritch Crossroads constellation to pick up the Hawk, which is a nice little boost of offensive ability and crit damage. But it also gave us Eldritch to hop up to the Amatak, the Spirit of Winter, which I didn't complete yet, because I don't actually know that I need to complete it, because I don't think I need any more Eldritch, which is what it gives me. But I may complete it later, because I don't need the cold res with this character, and additional Frostburn would only be okay. So what I did was I picked up the cold damage node, the defensive ability node, the other cold damage node, and then this Frostburn node, and got Blizzard. So these two points I may pick up later if I really need to, but I don't really need them right now. And then, like I said, I'm going to work my way through Primordial in order. I picked up the Solemn Watcher, because it's a great set of defensive abilities. And I'm going to fill out the Panther, so I can start building up to getting... I think I'm just going to go straight for the Tree of Life to get Healing Rain, is the plan. Because this character doesn't need a whole lot of additional attack things, because he's mostly going to be fighting up close and personal with the enemy. So I don't want him dying. And there are some options I was considering, and I did toy with, like Elemental Storm was a possibility. It's just, like, getting to this, and I wanted to try to get, maybe in the future, to Elemental Seeker, but, like, in the Eldritch Ascendant grouping, there are some nice Warrior Magey things, but they're, like, he wasn't surviving the way I wanted him to survive. So sitting over on the Primordial Order side is a lot more like true warrior magery things going on, and that's what I really want to go for with this character. And there are tons of options for him to go with. He could go with the Dryad for Dryad's Blessing, which I tried for a little bit, when it's not bad, but I wanted Tsunami for its extra damage. Maul on the Dire Boar is another option. I don't think I'm going to go for Light of Empyrean, because it's fire damage and this character is all cold and lightning. But yeah, Stone Form could totally be another thing you could get. I am going to fill out the Shield Maiden eventually. And I have had that filled out before, and it's a really nice additional shield-based things, because it would jump him up to 96% block chance, while giving him more armor absorption, shield damage blocked, more shield damage blocked, and then, you know, a little bit of retaliation, which I don't really care about that as much. But yeah, he's mostly sticking with the blues and the yellows, and he needs to fill out more yellows as he goes forward. But he's mostly going to be filling out stuff for passives rather than for abilities, because between Tsunami and Blizzard, he actually gets a lot of attack abilities, and I think adding on Healing Rain is going to be really nice. And that's mostly because it's going to also replace... I'm running Unstoppable. Yeah, Juggernaut with Unstoppable, and that's going to replace Unstoppable when he gets higher relics. So, since I mentioned that, we're going to go into his gear. He's using a Chill Blade with Shard of Baranath, and this is the last ability that kind of brings this all together, is Wrath of Baranath. Or, I'm sorry, Baranath's Fury, which is what I attached Tsunami to. Because this not only is a good basic attack, because it builds charges like Savagery and Troll Rage, it's elemental based, which is great for a warrior mage type. on top of having a really nice ability in and of itself. So, yeah, and then Tsunami procs off of that. Pretty commonly, but Tsunami, like, I'll point out when we actually go into the field, the thing I don't really like about Tsunami. So, yeah, his chest piece is the Eastern Robes. Pretty much your go-to... The Eastern Pledge is pretty much going to be your go-to Trozan Sky Shards set. I think any character running Trozan Sky Shards is going to use Eastern Robes. The only thing better would be some really well-crafted... like... I don't know what the Lightning Cold prefixes are, but it would be one of those Thing of Fallen Skies. And I know you can get that on a chest piece, because it'll give you +2 to Trozan Sky Shards. I don't know if you can get it on pants or gloves, but if you could, I think that would probably be a little better. But I mean, this is just out of the box Trozan Sky Shards advantage. So the Eastern Leg Guards, +2 to Frozen Core, +2 to Shattered Star. And right here I'm going to point out that Shattered Star is 20 points away. And Fabric of Reality, Mental Alacrity, Albrex's Aether Ray with Tainted Power, Reckless Power, and Unlimited Power, and Conversion. Of all of those, only Conversion is the thing I'd put points in. So getting over to Shattered Star may make the Sky Shards more powerful, but it requires at least 21 points just to get to it and activate it. And I don't actually think I'm going to have the spare 21 points given everything else he's running in the build. Now, if it continues having 2 points per level from 61 to 75, I'd consider it, because that would be 30 points. That would allow me to get it to a full 10 points in that ability. But if I can't get there, I'd want to actually have points in other things, in all honesty, going forward. So anyways, yeah, it's still good, though. It's still good for Frozen Core and for getting lots of lightning and cold damage going. On the right side, we have Templar's Faith, which is a great shield, just a great shield, and it's also got a lot of % lightning damage on it. And +2 to field command is really awesome. Oh, and I'm using an old Chains of Valerian on this guy. I just got a Hallowed Ground with +1 to the Sky Shards, but I want to get a Chains for him because he has maxed out elemental resistances, and the Hallowed Ground would be kind of pointless on him. And then Ancient Armor Plate. Over here, he has a Reinforced Shell for the shield block chance and shield damage blocked. I'm not actually using Blade Ward at all. His shoulder pads. I did have the decorated pauldrons, and I might go back to those, but these dropped one day, and I just decided to throw them on there. Kind of give them a little, like cold-ish looking theme. Appearance-wise. Silk Swatch for the Pierce Bleed resistance. The gloves are Eastern gloves, and, you know, they're gloves. They're castery gloves. The cast speed is kind of wasted on him, but it's fine, and I threw Spellwoven Threads in there. The boots are the new Spell Sage boots, and I'm on the fence about using them with this character. I may go back to Desecrator Treads, but they're pretty good boots for casters, and, you know, it's all around good stuff on it. It's what you'd expect out of castery boots. Helmet is Glory of the Silver Knight, and this is something I'm also looking into replacing with something crafted or dropped. It's a really great helmet, but the fire damage is kind of lost on him, and Abolish Evil, I'm not even using it anymore. So, I mean, it's not a bad helmet, though. I kind of do want to replace it with something crafted. Oddly enough, he needs that cunning. That's the only reason I still have it on him. Avarice of Andronius is great because he has so many abilities across both trees that +1 to all skills is actually kind of a major thing for him. With an Arcane Lens for its elemental damage, he has a pair of Starfires with Mark of Illusions. It's a pretty standard loadout for Sky Shards. Like I mentioned before, he has Juggernaut, the Death's Wasteguard of Supremacy, +1 to the Sphere, and a whole mess of good, whole mess of other good abilities. And then Combat Medic's Mark, because of its awesome heal. Tempest Sigil would kind of be an option for that as well. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll switch in Tempest Sigil. So we're just going to immediately run into the field up here, because the density is great, and it always makes for just good fun running through this area, even though you don't get a whole lot of... There's a blizzard, and even though you don't get a lot of like gear off of these guys, because I don't think a lot of heroes actually spawn out here. At least I haven't seen a whole lot. I mean, they're out there, but yeah, it's more just to have fun killing lots and lots of enemies. That was a tsunami. Here, we'll do some basic attacks just to look. See, there's an... You know what? I think it's been fixed. Because... When I first started this character... Okay, there, it's sort of getting trapped. When I first started this character, I was really nonplussed with what Tsunami was doing. Because it just seemed to be really, really tiny. Here, we're just going to attack here and look at what Tsunami does, because, yeah, it's going out now. So, when this started out, like, Tsunami, at least graphically, it was either glitching out, or it was, or it really was kind of just a little splish splash in front of you. Because now it's like this big wave, and it's actually working well. Okay, never mind. I was going to say Tsunami was kind of a non-plus thing, but... Yeah, it's actually working really well now. And you'll note, I haven't popped any defensive cooldowns yet. I'm purposely sort of doing this with just swinging my weapon right now. You okay there, guy? Just to show off how, Baroness, Fury, was it? Fury. Baroness Fury actually works really well as a main attack for him. With Tsunami now actually doing what I thought it was going to do, he's got a really, really... Why'd it go up there? Really, really good main attack. Also, you can see how tanky he is while wearing caster gear thanks to having a really good shield. So, the big, like, weakness this build has, though, are the things like the Fleshcorp Deadeyes. Ranged enemies tend to deal a lot of damage to him. And it makes me almost want to pick up the Eel Devotion String, because you'll get a lot of ranged evade out of that. I'm also kind of hoping... I know Valderin can spawn out here, so I'm kind of hoping he shows up. It'll be fun to actually fight a Nemesis spawn with this character. You'll note, as Trozan Sky Shards go off, you will see lots of blizzards happen. And that's part of the reason I chose out here, because the more things you hit with Sky Shards with this guy, the more likely you are to have the blizzard pop. Oh, should I go in the rift? We have time for the rift? Whatever, this is YouTube. I can take as much time as I want. So let's go. Let's go in the rift. Have fun in the rift. Augments for this guy, I think there's one in the Outcast that I'd really like to get. This guy's clever. He's hiding under the bones. He's hiding under the bones. Excuse me, I've kind of recorded a couple things today, so it's like, oh yeah, now my voice is a little on the strained side. So yeah, despite Trozan Sky Shards having a cooldown, it's quite powerful. Now we pop a defensive cooldown. I totally forgot to use Warcry in all these places as well. That's a little funny on my part. It's in a weird button position compared to where I usually have it on character. So, Warcry. Now the other big one I end up not using a lot is actually Electra's Flash Freeze. It's just a weird weird button input compared to everything else on this character. So yeah, I tend to accidentally not use it. That annoying sound that's happening is me taking a crap ton of chaos damage and not giving a crap. First potion. I actually am semi... like, I'm always semi-impressed with this character because I'm not used to playing tankier characters, especially if they're kind of castery. So it's like... having a character just wade through everything and not give a crap is just really fun to me. I'm making my way over to Bane Gorgoth. I have considered putting Blizzard on my main attack instead of Tsunami, but I like having it proc off the Sky Shards. It sort of reminds me that the bomb is a bomb. Is it Gorgarth or Gargoth? I don't remember. But yeah, actually in the fields when I wasn't war crying, you could see that that this character was still really, really, really tough. Sorry, I saw a weird Skype notification. I'm like, who the hell is that? Nullification's in a weird spot for me as well, so I accidentally hit it occasionally. So this guy's a little slower on bosses, but it's not actually that terrible. Put that sharpshooter's glass eye on the pile. So I'm actually going to go and look for a nemesis spawn. Okay, here's Valdarin. I knew I'd... Oh, ow. I knew I'd run into him up here, but I have to clear all this crap out of the way first. Now this is going to be fun. Maybe... Alright, it's just you and me, Valdarin. Excuse me, Valdarin, it's not just you and me. Now it is. So yeah, tanking a nemesis spawn feels pretty great. And he can fight pretty much all of them except for Fabio. And it's not for a lack of the ability to tank, necessarily. Nor is it really a lack of ability to deal damage to him. It's just that he can't out-damage Fabio's Pneumatic Burst. Like, he can deal damage to the character, but he can't out-damage the heal. So yeah, like, this is like nothing. This is just like me sitting here rotating through buttons, and it's like, oh, that was fun. So yeah, really, really loving my Battlemage right now. What a disappointing haul. Anyways, really loving the Battlemage right now. Really, really, really liking the devotion he got and the items he got. And I'm really looking forward to the future when some of the 65 level items become available. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys next time for, I think I'm going to do the Conjurer next. The pet build. So we'll see how that works. And I'll see you guys then.